welcome back. You're watching The Money Show and it's time to answer our viewer queries. I am joined by Hemant, Rustagi, CEO Wiseinvest. Hemant, good evening and welcome to the show. And let's take Manu's question first. This question is by email and it's quite a long question, Hemant. You want me to read out the name of funds? He's got Nippon India Multi-Cap, he's got ICICI Pru Value Discovery, HDFC Flexi Cap, Quant Multi-Asset, Motilal Oswal Mid-Cap and ICICI Pru Regular Gold Saving Funds. And he's given information on his stock holdings and fixed deposits and other emergency fund that he's collected for himself. And he will also invest additional lump sum of 75,000 to 1.5 lakh once in 6 months. And the time horizon for this is again 15 to 20 years. And he also wants to know how to invest 15 lakhs via SIP. And for that, he says the risk profile is moderate. Expectation from this entire investment, including SIPs and lump sum, is 7.5 crores. Okay, so what do you suggest?
Well, Kavita, let's begin with the target. Basically, his time horizon is set 15 to 20 years. So if I take 20 years as his time horizon and his SIP is 35,000, if he continues this process, I'm also considering the 15 lakh that he has accumulated so far in the portfolio. He can expect to build a corpus of around 4.5 crore, whereas his target is 7.5 crore. So clearly there's going to be a gap between what he intends to kind of build and what he would be able to actually achieve. So the only way that he can get to his target is by stepping up SIP every year. He can do that by 10%. I think his expected corpus would be somewhere around 8.5 crore. So one important thing that he needs to remember is to stay committed to kind of step up SIP every year. As far as the portfolio composition is concerned, I would say that I think the current funds in the portfolio are quite good, both in terms of level of diversification and also the fund chosen within each category. Except one fund, I think maybe there's a multi-asset fund. One, I don't think multi-asset fund, considering that the portfolio is equity heavy, is going to play an important role. But if at all he wants to look at a multi-asset fund, maybe he can look at Kotak multi-asset. So that's one change. The 15 lakh that has to be invested now, looking at the market conditions, I think even if I look at the accumulated corpus, in proportion of that, I don't think it's a great idea to invest in lump sum. My recommendation would be to invest through STP over the next 6 months. I think that will be better. And he can invest in the existing fund where he's doing SIP exactly in the same proportion how he's investing his current SIP.
All right, we don't have on the phone line, but then we hope that he got all the answers that he's put up on the question. Let's take up Arun K. Raj's question, and he's from Kerala. Arun, hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for sending us your question, Arun. I'll just read out your details. Quant Small Cap, you have Tata Small Cap, Parag Parikh Flexi Cap, and SBI Large and Mid Cap. And you want to understand how many small caps ideally one should be having in the portfolio, although you have to when you're saying that you know that it can be an overexposure. But yeah, we'll guide you over there. And so the purpose is retirement, 6 years left. And I also want to know that you will be having a pension, right?
Yes, I have pension also.
Okay, so if this portfolio is for retirement goal, what is the corpus that you want to accumulate? And you also want to do a lump sum investment?
Actually, I want to stop this SIP after my retirement and want to continue that amount as lump sum for 5 more years.
I did not get that. Can you please repeat?
Actually, I want to stop this SIP after my retirement.
Okay.
And that amount, that amount, that accumulated amount, I want to continue as a lump sum.
Okay, so you will stop your SIPs once you retire. Hemant?
Yes.
Okay.
Then put that amount as lump sum in that mutual fund.
And then that lump sum amount you will put in mutual funds?
Yeah.
And what is the logic behind that?
Actually, I don't want to do that money after my retirement. Just to continue to keep it that amount as lump sum in that mutual fund company.
Okay, let's get all of these questions answered by Hemant. So Hemant, first we'll take a look at his portfolio, the funds, and then later on we'll talk about the strategy where he says that he will stop the SIPs and then later on, put this chunk of money again in the mutual funds as lump sum investments. Okay, so yeah, 2 small cap funds, 1 flexi cap and 1 large and mid cap.
Well, Kavita, I think it's a good idea to obviously include equity funds in the portfolio through which you want to create a retirement corpus. I mean, he has 6 years to go before he retires. It would have been better if he had started investing in equity earlier, but as they say, there's never too late. I think this investment over the next six years will definitely add to the retirement corpus. And the good thing is that he's going to get pension after retirement. And as he mentioned, that maybe once he retires, he'll stop the SIP but continue to hold on to these investments. So I think it's a good idea to start investing in the mutual funds. So clearly looking at the fact that this is his first investment and is very close to his retirement, maybe even though he has 6 years, but through SIP means the average holding period is going to be around 3 years. So I don't think it's a great idea for him to really have investment in small cap funds. My recommendation would be that the money that is investing 5,000 in 2 small cap fund, he can consider if he wants his investment to be still a little bit risky and potentially rewarding. He can look at a multi-cap fund. Maybe he can look at Kotak multi-cap, because this multi-cap fund as a category will give him exposure to all 3 segments in the predetermined proportion. So I think that will be a good idea. Then his investment is also in SBI large and mid. It's a great category to have in the portfolio, but I think there are better funds than this one. Maybe you can look at Bandhan Core equity. I think that will be a better option, and you can continue with Parag Pare Flexi Cap. So a couple of changes, consolidation in the portfolio, and I really have not understood what exactly he's trying to achieve by kind of taking out this money. If the intent is that maybe because he's investing in the aggressive fund, and once he retires, maybe then he will take out the money and go into a fund which is not so aggressive. My view is that why wait for them? While you are accumulating the corpus,
Right.
also you should go into a fund which is more diversified.
Right. All right. It's time up on the show as well. Thank you so much, Arun, for sending us your question, and we hope that it's answered. Just in case you've missed anything, this show will be going on our channel's YouTube as well, so you can check out it over there. Hemant, thank you so much for being on the show today. And for all our viewers, I'm going to leave you with our WhatsApp number and our email ID where you can send across your questions. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.